Hey everybody, Jacob here with Ground Zero USA, and on today's workshop, we are going to dive in or dissect, um, I guess, the right questions to be able to take our product catalog and find the right speakers for the listener. This workshop is important to me because it allows us to help you understand our massive product catalog and breaking it down into three subcategories of listener. And for me, the biggest thing that starts with reference. Why am I using the term reference? And to me, it's something that I have even had to retrain myself. The term SQ, I think, is what used to represent a reference customer. And that term SQ is now being applied to really every segment of the industry. Everybody wants sound quality. Everybody wants it to sound good. But there are multiple different types of good. So let's use reference as this example and what product lines I feel would fall under the reference category from Ground Zero. So the big thing for me is when you are talking to the listener and getting a feel for the playlists or what they listen to or maybe what their past experiences are what is going to help you establish, is this a reference customer or is it not? And when you find out that really all they listen to is classical and jazz or live acoustic female vocals, this is typically where I would almost default to that old school SQ or reference grade customer. And by being able to now subcategorize this, I can now limit the product offerings to something that is going to be more geared towards that mentality. And in our product offering, I would say, starting at radioactive into uranium, up to plutonium, and then obviously reference and ultra are the epitomes of this category. That really does now allow me to have a conversation with the customer involving budget, involving, how in depth do we need fabrication or the build to go. And now I can really kind of find that right solution for this listener. But again, it all really does boil down to, is this a reference customer? And they are, I'm not going to lie, I think fewer and farther between than I think we want to kind of acknowledge. Now, the second category of listener that I would like to really talk about is almost a section of our products that are my favorite, and that is the daily listener style of product, or the everyday customer style of product. And to me, when I'm looking at these, it's going to be the titaniums, the hydrogens, and the nuclears when it comes to components that really set this category apart. Who do I classify as a daily listener customer is when I grab a playlist or ask them what they listen to, and it can be everything from Norah Jones to DJ Rusticles with some Limp Bizkit in the middle and a little bit of classical. It doesn't matter what comes on the playlist, they're going to enjoy it because it's a memory or it's a feeling. And that is the bulk to me of this industry. The term bread and butter gets thrown around, or the standard customer mentality. If I were to good, better, best a 75 percentile type product line, it's going to be the daily listener. And to me, again, it really is the most fun category. I would have told you personally that I was a reference listener because the term SQ, it was either SQ or SPL. Well, what's in the middle? And to me, that middle ground is daily listener. It's that SQ plus or SQL, as some put it, that is the bulk of the industry. So being able to narrow our product line down to what I feel is the bulk of the industry is absolutely a fun thing to be able to do in a good, better, best thought process. Now to the weird SQ category, right? Let's take a look at, what would we do for an SPL or competition level product, whether it's a pro SQ style build where you need it to be extremely loud to keep up with a lot of 15s in the back, and you still want pinpoint accuracy and detail? Or is it just, I want it absolutely loud and fun so I can pop the doors open, go to the beach, and rock out for a weekend? That's where our Competition and Competition Pro series of products comes into play. Once you find out what that customer is looking for as far as output, and maybe that would put you out of the scope of your normal product line, is where the Competition and Competition Pro products come into play. So you want to do an SQ three-way in a Get Loud car. Guess what? We can help you understand how to be able to do that. Or you want to be able to parking lot pimp, so to speak, or dueling demos where you crack doors open and there's 4 10s and 3 8s and a bunch of tweeters on each door. Again, we've got the product to be able to do that. But the cool thing about our product is it's still extremely phenomenal sounding car audio product and not just traditional pro product. So being able to, again, take our product line, trim it down into something that's going to help you accomplish that goal and be able to provide that customer with everything they could ever possibly want, again, is just another strength in being able to make sure that your listener is getting the absolute best experience they possibly can. Hopefully you were able to take something away from this workshop, whether it's who the customer is that you're talking to, or understanding how we break down customers or listening experiences, so to speak. For more information on the products, come on over to groundzerousa.com, and I will see you on the next one.